Governor Newsom said today that California is also considering redistricting to add congressional seats, but only in response to the move by Texas.
The proposal that we're advancing with the legislature has a trigger. Only if they move forward to dismantling the protocols that are well established would the state of California move forward in kind, fighting, yes, fire with fire.
State Democrats have reportedly already drafted new maps which could be approved by voters in November. In the meantime, California Republican Congressman Kevin Kiley said he plans to introduce a bill in Washington tomorrow that would ban all mid-decade redistricting nationwide. His statement only mentions California, but presumably it would nullify the Texas maps if they are redrawn as well. Joining us now for some more insight on all of this and what it could mean for the state of California moving forward is David McEwen, professor of political science at Sonoma State University. Professor, a lot going on here. This is the story that people are talking about across the country right now. First of all, let's put this into some context here. Democrats are making a lot of the fact that we have this redistricting happening here in the middle of the decade here, when typically it doesn't happen until we get new census results. How unusual is it for a state like Texas to make a move like this and redraw their congressional maps at a moment like this?
All right, if you kind of pan out from this and think about this in a broader perspective, it is unusual to do this mid-decade, but it's not unusual for Texas. Texas started this process in 2003. They redistricted in 2001, won big elections, controlled all of state government in 2002. So they wanted new maps. This was the infamous maps that were put forward by Tom DeLay. Some of your viewers may remember Tom DeLay in the U.S. House from Texas. Republicans put together new maps. By 2006, the U.S. Supreme Court had ruled, and those maps helped propel, that magic number of 5 more House of Representative members from Texas. Democrats then had a big win in 2006. Nancy Pelosi comes in. Nancy Pelosi comes in and becomes the first female speaker of the House of Representatives. Democrats could have had a mid-decade redistricting. They didn't do that. And in California, and you also see in Illinois, 2 governors are trying to get in front of this because both of them also want to run for president in 2028. So you have what's going on to be kind of sour grapes. Democrats feel they have no choice but to leave the state. But there's also kind of a partisan advantage and disadvantage in midterm elections. That's what Donald Trump and Republicans are worried about.
Okay, David, I want to talk with you about Texas Governor Abbott's reason for wanting to withdraw the districts. Partially, he says, to dismantle coalition districts. What does he mean by that? And is there any proof to what he's saying?
All right, so coalition districts is code for districts that have more voters of color. The way the Supreme Court has dealt with this is what's called COIs, or communities of interest. Communities of interest are such that you can't put all of the African Americans in one area in North Carolina. You can't put all of the district or any districts that might hold, for example, Latinos and Latinas in one district in Texas. And Donald Trump puts together a coalition in 2024 that cuts into the Democratic base. And so Republicans want to hold on to some of that. And what Governor Abbott is trying to do is get that redistricting going so that they can hold on to some of those gains and not lose the U.S. House next year. Average midterm loss in a second presidential midterm is about 35, 36 seats. So you're going to need a lot more. For Democrats, if you're trying to add more seats, how many more seats are you going to add in California? 52 members of Congress, 43 of them are Democrats. Kevin Kiley's worried and we'll introduce that bill that you had on the lead in there, because a district that tries to get rid of him, which will be in Governor Newsom's plan, has to take in his district in Chico and probably go all the way over to Santa Rosa. All of that presents some problems moving forward. But this at brass tacks is all about really hardcore politics.
All right, let's, as we wrap up here, let's talk a little bit about how far Democrats, we think, are willing to go in terms of, in their words, fighting fire with fire. Governor Newsom says he's going to push forward with a plan to redraw the congressional maps here in California to advantage Democrats here if Texas moves forward with redrawing its maps. We know there are similar plans in some other states across the country here. But what are the political risks for Democrats in doing that?
Two things, Alex: maps and money. The maps have to hold on or deal with those Supreme Court issues related to communities of interest, COI, so the maps matter. The second part is money. That election would be held 3 months from tomorrow, and you've got to raise a lot of money. Charles Munger Jr. has already said he'll put in $100 million. Money on the no side of a ballot measure is a lot more powerful than the yes side, so Governor Newsom and Democrats would have to raise between $200 $300 million to have a shot at this. That's big money to raise in 3 months. Is that what you want to do in an off-year election? So maps and money are going to matter in a really, really big way for these kind of next 3 months. Can they get off the ground and do that, and also at the same time solidify and maintain representation? How much are you actually going to gain in terms of seats, in terms of California, New York, and Illinois? Those are already democratically dominated delegations, so it might have to look at other states, but it does set the ball rolling if something were to happen in California.
Yep. Okay. We will wait and see what happens in Texas. Really appreciate it. David McHugh, and as always, thank you.